Welcome back to Project RSX. Today we're on episode 5. Last episode, guys, I did a whole brake job. You know, everything was involved: calipers, brakes, rotors, pads, brake fluid, all this stuff. So that got sorted through. In this episode, I just had a very tough time starting my car. Okay, let me just try this again. So my car doesn't start. It's time to fix that. Guys, I don't really need to diagnose my no start condition because I know I need a starter. This is all I need to fix my car. This is a remanufactured one, but I don't really care as long as it works. The reason I know this just needs a starter is because when I had this car and it wouldn't start, I asked my neighbor to come help me. Just hit on the starter, tap it a bit, and then when I cranked it, it cranked over. My starter is bad because that's the only part that we touched. So this episode is just about getting my car started, and that's gonna happen with this starter motor. All right, so the starter is actually located behind the intake right here. So kind of hard to see, but that's the starter right there. That's buried right under the intake manifold. It's just gonna be a whole lot of parts that we're gonna be taking off right here. I'm gonna have to take my intake off anyways, and I can address this little issue I had before. This hose will get crimped. It's too long, it needs to be cut. So I can bring this in a bit, and if I bring this in a bit, it won't touch this upper rad hose right here. Look how loose that is. The clamp isn't even on properly. This clamp is just rusty as shit. I knew that was gonna break. There you go. Okay, so I took off the throttle body. I made a nice little mess down here by disconnecting these coolant lines. I wanted this out of the way. I had to get it out of the way because I'm going to be taking off the intake. So get into bolts like that right there. Bolt right there for the intake. I need all that space I can get. As soon as I get this intake out of here, I should be able to see the starter. Also, the inside of this a little bit dirty, but I am going to clean this up. I have intake air cleaner. But yeah, it's caked up there. Okay, so at this point I have all this stuff disconnected, fuel line disconnected, fuel rail is attached to the intake, so I don't need to take this off because the intake's gonna come off with it. So all I gotta do now is take off all the bolts on the intake and pry the intake off. Hope you guys are enjoying so far. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. We're gonna get this intake out. Let's get that now. Okay, so intake came off. Now do you guys see how much easier that makes my life to change the starter motor right there? So you guys could see where I was tapping on the starter motor before. That's where I tapped on it, and then my car started. That's really all I need to do right here. Just disconnect these, one for the main power, one for the solenoid, and we got one sensor here. This is a knock sensor, and then just these two big bolts, one right here, one behind there. Take those out, starter comes out. Gasket here for the intake, it's not bad. One of the studs just came out all together. I'm gonna clean everything and put it all back together. Starters up. Try this again. Please. Fucking started. Holy fuck. Alright guys, I just went and returned the old starter motor. I ended up getting $70 back for the core. These guys, they take back the starter motors because they rebuild them, so wherever you buy yours from, take it back. And I ended up just picking up a box of some gloves that I needed because I had nothing and my hands were getting destroyed. So yeah, time to go home, and that's a wrap guys. Thank you guys for watching.